Hello, everybody. Spider here, coming soon podcast. Coming to you once again, of course, being joined once again, returning guest. I know I've had you guys on separate occasions when it comes to for the past interviews, but Jessica Duclos, of course, thank you for returning. And of course, who do you have with you? Tell us.
With me is Robert Cantu, director, producer of Emotionally Disturbed Person.
No, no, and of course, I know Robert. I was able to hang out with you guys a few days back. We were actually here in San Antonio, Texas. This was for the short film premiere. And
Yes.
I gotta say, I took part in some of it, but as a fan, I truly enjoyed it. I sat through it. There was the ending I wasn't aware of, so that was a shocker. I was like, what the heck happened? I won't drop any spoilers, but it was great though. Obviously, when it comes to the film, like edit, like Robert was saying, when it comes to editing, it's kind of hard because you kind of have to leave stuff out. And I'm sure there was parts that everybody wished were on there, but it had to be. It's a short film, so of course it had to be a cut. So tell us, Jessica, what were your thoughts on the film?
I actually really loved it. I thought it was like perfect, like short and sweet. The cuts were in the right places. So honestly, I have nothing to say. I thought it was like really nice to see like the whole thing together because I hadn't seen it. It was my first time at the screening, just like everybody else. So for me to see, myself on screen like that, I thought it was awesome. So yeah, I loved it.
No, no, and of course, Robert, this is your baby. This is what you allowed us to help you create and bring to life, man. So, what were your thoughts on the editing process and as far as the final product?
No, it came out exactly how I intended from the beginning. It came out just like that. You surround yourself with the right people and surround yourself with someone who understands your narrative. Uh, the editor knew my narrative. The editor knew stick to the script. He was a little creative at the end, which ended up being better. Like you can change anything as long as it's to the narrative. As long as it helps the story, don't think of it as helping yourself. Can I throw a line in only to make yourself look good? That's not going to happen. I don't, not here. And the editor tried to do some stuff with toxic abuse and this one, and I was like, it's not working, dude. It's not the narrative. But he had the ending was his idea, and I don't, I'm not that crazy about. I'm not that person where I have control, which I am, and then it's like I am and I'm not. If you have a better idea, then I'm going to run with that. And
Right.
it really came together. It's really a take on Shakespeare's the tragedy of King Richard, and you just that, and you're going to get what you want.
No, no, for sure. And like I mentioned, this is actually a film that took place here in San Antonio, and of course, I would say that most of it got shot in Austin, right? There was a lot of back and forth.
The exteriors, all the studios was at San Antonio inside the studio, and then all the exteriors were all over Austin. And
No,
I
no, I
wanted
know.
to showcase. I wanted to showcase Austin too. I really wanted to make it a character. I want people to see we're in Austin. I want people to. I kind of want to make Austin a new film noir city instead of LA.
No, and of course, it is a hot spot. When it comes to Austin, Texas, there's a lot that goes on out there. Here in San Antonio as well, but Austin just seems to bring a little bit more heat when it comes to the big dogs. There's a lot more being done out there, and of course, individuals like yourself, Robert. When it comes to indie film, there's a lot of people doing great work, and you're definitely one of them, man.
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It was challenging with the heat though, like for the hair and makeup, that was like very challenging for everybody.
Not for us, right? Me and Robert were good, but everybody else, the hair.
Yes. Well,
No,
it's more like continuity, because like the hair started like frizzing and etc. Makeup melting. So like yeah, that was challenging. Besides that, we got this pretty right. And like I was saying at the premiere, like really making movies is teamwork. So like everybody brings their best on the team the result is usually fantastic. So this one was really truly teamwork.
No, no, and let me ask you because you brought up a good point during the that day. You know, you were talking about the chemistry. I mean, between you guys, the actors. I mean, there was a lot of familiar faces. So of course, for the most part, a lot of people were comfortable going back in there and putting in work. So when it comes to working with people like that over and over again, I mean, Jessica, is this something that you're 100% behind? I mean, would you rather work with somebody you've worked with in the past, or do you like expect the challenge and just get new people in there?
I mean, I think it can go both ways. I think I love working with people that I have worked in the past and it was like really great. So it's always fun to like work with people again, especially when you have like chemistry, like you just said, with certain people. Like I think Robert and I are on the same wavelength in terms of like making films like what he wants. Like he knows he can trust me with a character that I'm gonna bring my best to the table, and vice versa. So like that's why we love working together. But I also love working with like other actors, like Ruby. We've worked twice together at this point. That was really nice. And yeah, like Steven and I had really great chemistry. So like when I got on set, like I think my first impulse was to start running lines. So I went to him. I'm like, hey, do you mind if we start running lines just so we're ready when camera's ready? And he was like so willing to run lines right away, just like willing to work.
Yeah.
Some actors are like, no, 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 I don't run lines. Like, I'm just camera ready, whatever. But like, I really like running lines before I shoot because I don't know. I just think like it's in your head and you got that and you don't have to think about it because you ran the lines a couple of times. So now you can really focus in the moment to moment of what is happening in the scene. So for me, having someone like Steven totally willing to do that with me and get into character right away, it just like felt very relaxed and comfortable. And I think that shows also in our scene in the movie. So yeah.
No, no,
No,
and
I
I was
would.
going to say that too. Oh, go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, I'd like to follow up on the casting I do, and hopefully, if they have a gel and they get a connection, that's an extra add-on. That's a plus.
Yeah.
But I also try to hire professional actors who are there to work. And Susan was great. Susan was there. She showed up. She was kind of like the new person on the set because
Yeah.
we did toxic abuse, and I pretty much the whole cast and crew pretty much on that went from here. Already knew Jessica from the previous film that we did. So Susan just stepped in, and she really was good. She really came in, and you know, you don't always have to have the chemistry, but professionalism is also something that needs to be called out on. I thought it was everyone worked
No,
together. Everybody worked together great. There was no issues. And, I'm pretty much on this streak of everyone in a professional environment, and just got to keep rolling with that.
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get actually.
Yeah.
yeah,
So like
true.
circle back with to what I was saying before. It's like I love working with like actors I've already worked with, but like also I love working with new actors that I've never worked with because it's for me it's like okay, like how do you work? Like what can you give me and what can
Yeah.
I give you? And it's like this really creative energy that's there.
Yeah.
So what can we do with our art? So I love that, but it can go wrong sometimes. Not everybody like fits well together, so it's a surprise every time.
No, no, that's true. And one of the things I noticed because it's kind of you feed off the energy. So say if somebody's not bringing it or they're not vibing with you, I mean, you're going to be able to tell on screen. The fact that a lot of it seemed natural, a lot of it just kind of ran on like an actual conversation. That's those are the things that I noticed. Like if I watch a film and I'm thinking like, oh man, like these guys didn't rehearse, because the lines are chopped up. But you guys did great though. I mean, everything seemed like, I mean, you guys obviously seemed very comfortable, and the fact that the personalities were different in the characters, that kind of went well also because it's like you're trying to be I don't want to say the bad person, but I mean, you were being the lead. I mean, you kind of seem to lead by example. So whatever you were putting out there, everybody else was just following and just going off of that. So I mean, with that being said, you did a great job. So
Thank you.
awesome. Now let me ask you guys, because you are in Austin, Texas. I mean, I asked you earlier if you had gone anywhere. I mean, I know you guys were working. Robert being a workhorse, he's already working on his next project. So I mean, I'm pretty sure he told you to come take a vacation and he put you to work, right?
They did. She did. She did the interviews. She played a small cameo, if you want to put it that way, in
Yeah.
it. She's in it. She's featured and she has a few lines. And she did a lot of the BTS interviews. So it was fun.
Nice, nice. No, you see, and that's one of the things when it comes to indie films. I mean, people say, a lot of people wear a lot of hats. Of course, you got to be doing it. You're running around. I mean, Robert, having individuals, like Jessica, that are willing to step up and help out. I mean, that's a plus, right? I mean, any help that you can get along the way makes it easier for you,
Yeah,
man.
100%. I mean, she's a director in her own right too, so she knows what goes on, what's needed to be on the film set.
No, no, definitely, man. Now, of course, like I said, I mean, I did get to meet you guys here in San Antonio. Um, it's one of those things where it's like a reunion. Every time I go to a set, I get excited seeing the same people, or if I'm filming somewhere and I run into somebody I know, I'm like, oh man, okay, you know what? Like, it makes it easier. I calm down a lot, but at the same time, like Jessica mentioned, I love running into new people, meeting new people, because it's like, I mean, I'm nosy. I mean, obviously I have a podcast, so I ask questions, but when I meet people out there on the set, I'm like, man, where are you from? What do you do? And it's just trying to get that the jitters out, so to speak. But I mean, I just feel more comfortable talking to everybody, and then that way they put us together, or we're doing a scene. I feel a little bit more relaxed. I'm like, okay, I already talked to him. I met him. Like, we just run it.
Yeah.
Now, Jessica, of course, you are flying back home this evening or tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
and
Yeah.
and and of
That's where
course,
I am Thanksgiving.
it's gonna be a busy day tomorrow when it comes to
Yeah,
the airline. So
that's right.
now getting home, I mean, are you gonna be able to spend time here with Robert and them and eat, or what time are you leaving?
Yeah, we're gonna do a Thanksgiving a little bit earlier tomorrow. Mhm.
Around noon.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, that's pretty much. Well, I don't want to say that's normal, but I mean, for me, it's like I usually have like four houses to hit, so we start early. Noon is one, and then we just keep
Oh,
going. But
there you go. And then I have another one when I land in LA with my LA friends.
no,
So
and
yeah.
I was gonna ask just that, because when I ran into, or when I saw you out there at the premiere. I mean, I did ask you if you celebrated Thanksgiving, and of course I asked you that because you are from Canada. So what was your answer? Tell us.
Oh, my answer was, well, I'm American now. So absolutely, this is my favorite holiday. Thanksgiving is amazing. I love Thanksgiving. And I not only love it for the food, because obviously the food is amazing, but I love it also for, the meaning that it has for me. For some people, it has a different meaning. So like I know that this is like a touchy subject because of where Thanksgiving comes from. I know some people are not so much wanting to celebrate Thanksgiving, but I like to look at Thanksgiving as like being grateful, like a moment to be grateful for all the lovely things that you have in your life and, create more positivity around you. So I'm grateful for Robert, for his family, for, opening his home to me, for casting me in this movie. And it's kind of like a second family, right? Every set is like a little family.
Yeah.
So to me, I get to spend Thanksgiving with like my film family, and it's amazing. So I'm really happy.
No, no, for sure, and of course, I mean, Robert, you're gonna be out there. Who's doing the cooking tomorrow, or is it tonight?
Hey, right. I'm doing it right now.
Oh, okay, okay, cool, man. Well, what can we expect, man? What are you guys gonna be serving?
Oh, of course the turkey, but just cornbread stuffing, sausage cornbread stuffing. and candy carrots.
And of
No,
course,
not that many sides. It's just going to be one side because it just to me, the thing for me, it's the cornbread stuffing. I like it more than the
oh,
turkey.
nice. Yes, yes, definitely, man. And I was gonna say this, man, because of course, Jessica, I mean, I do follow you on social media. Um,
Mhm.
you know, I don't know how to say this. Like for myself, like I mean, I have to watch what I eat. I can't just eat something because I blow up quick. But I always see you out there. You're always exercising. You're always taking care of yourself. So how does somebody like yourself? Is it small servings? I mean, how is it that you're gonna be eating tomorrow?
Oh, I'm laughing because I never stop myself from eating whatever I want. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I think the secret is like being consistent throughout the year. So I'm very consistent with myself throughout the year. Like I eat clean, I
Yeah.
work out. Um, yeah, I have a very like healthy lifestyle, right?
Right.
But like days like Thanksgiving, even I want to say like this whole week in Texas, like I've been eating burgers, fries, like all kinds of like fast food or food that's considered not healthy. And I'm okay with it because I know that when I come home, I'm gonna get back to like all my regular routines. So it's all
Detox.
good. Yeah,
Detox.
detoxing, like probably gonna go to like do like a hot yoga session and some like infrared sauna, something to detox, like some lymphatic drainage, whatever I need to
Yeah.
do, but just something to take care of myself. Yeah. So it
Nice.
doesn't
Nice.
matter, like calories like come in and then out how because I'm consistent. So I never worry about a day of like so much eating. Like I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's actually the opposite. Like I'm all in, I'm gonna eat. Like, yes, I get to eat whatever I want. This is great. And I think the body reacts like in a way that it's like, oh, you're feeding me a lot of food, like so I gotta work extra, so it's kind of starts working extra anyway to burn those calories because it adjusts. That's the beauty of the human body. So yeah.
No, yeah. You see, I envy you because yes, I mean, and I do, for the most part, I mean, I do exercise, I do stay busy. I do. I've been doing the carnivore, you know, whole
Diet.
diet, I guess you can say for a while, and it's helped out, But I mean,
Yeah.
I started doing carbs more in the mornings just to kind of give me that energy because I noticed like in the evening I was just tired, So I just started doing that. I mean, high protein, low carb. But yeah, I mean, watching your videos and watching you work out, I'm like, okay, yeah, I gotta go run, I gotta go do this, and it's a reminder, So I appreciate that, but yeah, of course, if I used to tell people I work out just so I can eat what I want, but these days I'm like I still gotta watch, But I mean, of course, tomorrow I'm gonna enjoy, I'm gonna have fun, be around family, and like you said earlier, I mean, for me, Thanksgiving is nothing more than time with the family, time with your loved ones, and or for people that don't necessarily celebrate it, I'm sure they have a day off, so do something with it, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And Robert, of course, the filming, Robert. I mean, when it comes to the filming today, are you guys done, or when is the next?
For the next film, yeah, I'm shooting Saturday,
Oh,
and then I have a third day, but I need a club. Like it's a club. It's not a jazz club, so I'll figure that out after Saturday, what to do. And it's only two actors in it, so it
oh,
shouldn't
okay,
be
okay.
that. It's not a big production, but it is. The cinematographer still has to drive up from that and be here for that. But it's just two actors and our crew. So, but after I
And
figure that out later, just like I did with the toxic grease scene outside at that spaghetti warehouse. I just rode with it and went with it. So I'll figure it out.
no, you see, and I was going to say that because I mean that was brought up again, that day of the premiere. When it comes to film, I had talked to you about this before, also, Robert, and it was one of those things where you're like, you know what, you can't wait. I mean, time's in essence. You don't know if you're going to get the same people back, so if something doesn't work, you just go around and use something else. So I mean, I think that's one of the one of the great things about what you do is that you're not afraid to move. If you can't use a location, it's like, okay, we'll pack up, let's go around the building or go somewhere else.
Yeah, well, I mean, with Emotionally Disturbed, it was just the San Antonio was all exterior.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in a studio and interior. So I was lucky I just had to bang out all those scenes, and she had to learn what 8 pages of dialogue for that because there was a lot. There was a lot in the
Yeah.
interview. There was her monologue at Ice House and at the studio. She did it twice because I had to just play that card where if the scene didn't work out, I didn't want to be stuck with that scene. And let's just do. It was originally all she broke the fourth wall.
Yeah.
But when we went at Vice House, let's just shoot everything in the Vice House, her by herself, just in case the fourth wall scenes doesn't work. And as you can see, it didn't work. Most of the scenes were at Vice House.
Yeah.
And I really, when I saw the scenes that I wanted, that how she was breaking the third wall, I was thinking about cutting the entire scene out, like completely, just to save my film. It just didn't look believable. It looked fake. Everything didn't look right. It
No.
didn't. It just looked like it was just thrown in there, and it didn't run smoothly. And at the last minute, after I actually considered cutting it out, I thought about why don't I just use all the scenes that I shot at my house, and then throw snippets of her breaking the third wall at the studio, and just there it is. It worked. And
No.
sometimes you have to, when I'm making a film, I got to look at all angles. And sometimes if you want to take a risk, do the conventional and do the risk. Do both scenes. You got the actor, let them do it. Let them do it twice. Have two different versions of the same scene. So, but when I went to after we did the interiors, it was I had the pizza place, I had permission, so I was fine there. And then the Q2, I knew if we shot early, we should get away with it, and which we did. And again, I used the same approach, like we're doing a photo shoot, we're not filming nothing. So it was the same approach as I shoot, how I always shoot when I don't have a permit. So.
No, for sure. And I mean, of course, obviously, when it comes to interior shooting, I mean, it's a lot more controlled, right? It's a controlled environment. Outside, I mean, not so much. Jessica was talking about the wind. It was windy on most occasions, so you kind of have to prepare for those, right?
To me, I prefer shooting exteriors for some reason because when I have interior scenes, like last night or Monday or at the studio, you're on a clock now.
Yeah.
You gotta be sure to shoot everything you need, or you're not gonna get it. With something about exteriors, if I don't get it, I can at least get it the next day or next week if I'm stealing the scene. But at a studio or someone's house, you better get everything. Because I think the scene that Toxic Abuse, there was a scene that Ruby and Riley had supposed to have by themselves at the table. Well, they told me I got to be out by 11:30, and I was like, well, it's 10:40, and we're not even close to that scene. So we cut that and we shot that in the car. Which the point is, you're on someone else, time. You're on someone else's mercy when you shoot at a location. Even with All Points Bulletin at the studio, we had a time crunch to get it out. We were like, we got to roll. We got to get these scenes. So I think, when I'm shooting interior, I feel much more pressure than exterior.
No, yeah. For me, I mean, I like. I mean, it's great when it works. I mean, because I'm sure if it's raining or something like drastic, then yeah, you gotta change things or move things. But I mean, for the most part, when it comes to shooting somewhere, I think the last film that I was able to jump on, there was a train coming, so you had to deal with noise, you had to deal with
Mhm.
traffic. I mean, for the most part, but I mean, I think those just add to the film, But if you can make that work, then that's great.
Yeah, and also one more thing that I think is really important is like when you make movies, is to be adaptive,
Yeah.
And when I'm saying adaptive, like it can be to situations like he was just explaining, right? Being side, and then all of a sudden you can't film there anymore, so you gotta go somewhere else, or shooting inside and you're on a time crunch, and too bad like we didn't get to do that shot. So like changing, being able to adapt to whatever environment or whatever your actors are throwing at you, or it could be adaptive like with the script or with the work of someone else in the crew, like your editor or whatever, because in the end it's like it's teamwork, so you have to be able to not be so strict with the final product, right? You have to be a little bit loose with it, if I may use that word. But yeah.
No, yeah. Well, it's just, and I'm sure it's been said time and time again. If you try and wait for the perfect day, it's never gonna come. So you gotta shoot and make it work, right?
Yeah, and Robert is so good at this. It's like one
Yes.
of his
Oh,
best quality as a filmmaker. Not only he's like super adaptive, super solution driven, and also he's able to make amazing movies with very little budget, which I respect him a lot to be able to pull that off. Yeah.
no, yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't want to say he makes it look easy because I see it and it's hard. But I mean, obviously the guy has nerves of steel because he doesn't. I don't see him stress out. So Robert, I don't know. I don't know if you release that stress when you get home, or what do you do, man?
I'm stressed out now.
We were just talking about this.
It all comes 48 hours after they're done, and it all comes. But I've just been lucky with Toxic Abuse, EDP, and this one here, this new one I'm doing, where you have so much great talent and a crew that understands your narrative and wants to be a part of it. I think that just leaves all those nerves, and then when you see your cast, you see them in wardrobe, it just like you see your creation in front of you. You see what your vision, your and sometimes I dress women completely different where you'll never see them in the police station dressed like detectives dress like. But that's my narrative. That's my vision to see them dressed this way with the police gear. And the police gear is on and all that. That just goes out the window. Now she's a cop. But you know, I talk to them about the wardrobe. I do the wardrobe. I do all the wardrobe to myself. I dress my size and see if this works, where this works, and we see what they have in their closet. But most of the time, it's pretty much 90% of the wardrobe comes from me. I mean, maybe they have their own shoes or pants, because pants
Right.
is cops only have gray and black wear. Very rare they wear khaki. But it's really, if you notice any cop film or detective films, they're wearing black or gray. That's it.
Right.
Yeah, black and gray or navy blue. And so that's not much, but the tops and the gear they wear, the way I want their hair, pretty much. That's what helps my narrative too, because it's like it's fusion. It's my little person company is called Corpus Fusion, and it's a Corpus Robert Cantu fusion. I'm putting that fusion in my film. It's a noir film, but it's not your normal noir film. It's a Robert Cantu noir film. Take the
No,
whole
no,
film.
I was going to ask you also because when it comes to costumes, or not costumes, but this last film, I mean, when we guys, there was a lot that was done in there that I would say people kind of got taken out of their norm. There was a scene with me and a couple other gentlemen, right, and Susan, and it was kind of
Oh yeah.
random, and you were like, "Hey, I need you to do this," and everybody, for the most part, everybody jumped on it. They were like, "Yeah, I mean, you're the director. You tell us what your narrative is, and we just try to make it as best as possible." But there was a lot of I would say a lot of scenes that kind of took people out of their comfort zone, and I liked it because it kind of pushed me. I'm sure as others, as artists, as being creative and just okay, let's see if we can do this. But I think that was great, and watching the film, everything looked perfect, man. I mean, I don't think anybody looked uncomfortable, but I know for that one scene, a lot of us guys were talking. We're like, damn, like the wives are gonna be upset, but it was
As long as
but
Susan was happy, she looked in that scene. She
yeah.
looked happy.
Oh
Just
yeah, yeah. That
absorb
was
the
her moment.
attention.
That was definitely her
Yeah, but
moment.
it's
But
like we're creating movies. It's not
yes,
real. So it's like we all know that. I think that the wives are also able to understand that. Like it's a
Oh
moment,
yes,
a
yes.
snippet in time for the movie. So like it's yeah, we're just playing, right? So
No, yeah, yeah. It's and I mean, we said it jokingly, but I mean, it was just like one of those things we had to because we're like, man, like you know what? But yeah, I mean, for the most part, uh, you know, I just went with it. I mean, I didn't. It wasn't. I mean, of course, it was a movie. We just made it happen, and after it was said and done, everybody just went about their day. But it was a scene like that that I personally liked. The fact that I was taken personally out of my comfort zone, and it's like, hey, let's do this because it proved two things. One, um, I can do that now. I already know, like, hey, you know what? If somebody needs me to do something like that, like I can definitely jump on that. But another one was that I'm growing as a person, as an actor, because it's like, okay, you know what? I've always told myself, like, if I'm somewhere and somebody's like, hey, we need somebody that can dance, I'm like, dude, like, I'm on it. It's not gonna be a good dance, but I'll do it. But definitely jump to the occasion. So, thank you, Robert. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, I mean, well, everything was discussed too. Nothing was just. I didn't put her in that situation. I didn't put
No,
any of you
no.
guys. Just I talked to Susan. We went over what was going to happen and how it was going to happen. Nothing, nothing that you saw that the final cut or final product that wasn't already talked about.
Right.
And then I talked to you guys individually of how it's going to go, what to expect. I mean, one or two guys I didn't get to, but I kind of just told them on the spot what's going to happen, and also be respectful. We don't cross the line.
Right.
Uh, ask permission, and I think
Oh yeah.
one of the actors asked permission, and and it worked. I mean, it kind of helped, to be honest. And I
yeah.
saw the scene, I was like,
Yeah.
holy. Uh,
Yeah.
Susan, did he ask to? And she says yes, he asked, and but I'm glad. And I'm glad I got that scene. It worked. It
Yeah.
looks great. So those scenes could be kind of like crossing the line, but when you're all professional and we're all adults and everything was discussed, everything was understood, uh, then it's really no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
It's always
No.
it's always something we do as actors. Like if we know that we're gonna touch somebody else in any type of way, we always ask first. Is that okay if I do this? If I touch you there? If like I, take you like that? Like and we always get permission from the other actor. That's
Mhm.
like really the way that professionally things should be done. So I think if everyone's professional on the set, it should be asked that way and I think it was done
Yeah, I
properly
think it
on
like
our set.
it did feel, and
Yeah.
it did feel like you said. I hope it made it. I don't see how it's uncomfortable, but I can see
No.
a
No.
very erotic scene.
Right.
It's the most erotic G-rated scene, if I have to say. It really is because
Yeah.
there's not there's no nudity. There's no nothing. No one's actually grabbing no one in a way.
Right.
But it's really the most G-rated erotic scene ever, I think. So it's a fantasy scene.
No. Yeah. I mean, and I think and of course, I mean, I'm not gonna put any spoilers, for those that obviously haven't seen it. But when it comes to what you were trying to get across, Robert, I mean, do you think you accomplished that?
You tell me. I think I did. I mean, you as a viewer, what do you think? Because it's all in Jessica's character's head. She's not that person she's talking about. But I
Right.
think as individuals and like King Richard III, he's full of hate and self. He's selfish and he wants the throne to himself. I think these people who carry themselves as the king, they see everyone bad, so they can feel they're doing something right. That's in their head, and that's how disordered they are. That's how they're mental. And King Richard saw everyone as a bad thing, in order for him to do his thing. And I think she sees, in order for Jessica to justify her actions, she has to
Right.
see Susan as a wrong, as she's bad. She's in the
Right.
way. She's no good. She loves men's attention. That's how she gets away with everything. She tells herself that. That's
Yeah.
psychological. We all do that. we now, but not to that degree, but we all see someone we don't like, and we just try to make ourselves hate them more by, the way they do things, or the way they come in, and they can come in late and never get called out on, or how come they get to leave early all the time, or how come they get every day off. So you built that yourself to hate them more, and we do that all the time, but we don't go to this extent.
Oh
And
no.
people with power do that. They do that. They create, a side to not like more, when there's really no harm and foul to hate.
No, no, definitely. And yeah, I mean, to answer that question on my end, I mean, I think you did. You definitely got the message across. Like I said, the fact that the chemistry was there with the actors and actresses. The scene and everything was great. And I kept talking about it that evening, but the scene that kind of put the icy or the dots on the I or across the T's was the ending, the reporters. And then maybe I shouldn't be saying that, but I mean, when it comes to what was shown, I was like, man, I mean, it was one of those. It was like very, I don't know how to say it. I don't know what the word is, but
Cinematic.
it just, there you go,
Yeah,
there you go.
cinematic.
Yeah, like it was
Cinema.
just perfect. I was like, man, like it went great. I loved it. I mean, it was just like a great ending. And
Well,
I hope many people see it.
there are people who've never seen. I've been in a room and watching a Romeo and Juliet, and this is the old version. And some people, I can feel the aura of people who's never read the Shakespeare play, or know what the ending happened. What happened? I heard the gaps, how shocked, how Shakespeare, and Shakespeare just does it. And like, you don't, and do it. Don't, you know when the that's why it's called a tragedy. All his plays are the tragedy of King Richard, the tragedy of King Lear, the tragedy of Macbeth. They're all tragedies because you don't see what happens in the end, how it happens. You don't, when Lady Macbeth does what she, it's suicide the way she does. You don't see it because she's doing it to herself,
Right.
and she's still, saying her lines. You hear her thoughts, how she feels, and in the end, she drops the knife and she bled out. And you just do it. Don't let the people know. Let the action still happen,
Right.
and then the kill comes just like that. And I just kind of did it like that, like Romeo and Juliet, or um, Macbeth gets killed. It just there it is. Oh shit! And it happened so subtly too.
I think it's
No.
fascinating. I'm like listening to him explaining that. It's fascinating, and like Shakespeare is Shakespeare like for a reason, and it's still alive nowadays. And I think for me the hardest part on this film was to deliver my line in a Shakespearean way, and be basically King Richard, but in a female body and
Right.
in a version of today's, whatever today is. Um, and you can really see like the language also that I use in the film. Like I swear all the time. I swear a lot in this movie. So if you don't like swearing, don't watch it. But it's like it was interesting to see, a good-looking woman being like this, like having so much hate inside and just like swearing all the time, so much frustration coming out of her. And that's why she completely switches in her mind. Like she becomes emotionally disturbed. Like that's really what the title is. She flips.
Yeah.
And that was also a point of like, I had to work in me, like the character, like, how do I get to this point where it's like the turning point where like, I'm like so fed up with everything that I just end up, I'm not gonna spoil it for people, but I'm doing what I'm
Yeah.
doing at the end. So
She takes the throne. She
Oh yeah.
takes the throne.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But on that note that she's saying, there's about 4 pages cut out of why
Yeah.
she's how she is. She at the interview at the end, it's what, 20 seconds? It's supposed to be
Yeah.
4 minutes. 4 minutes are gone. And I'm thinking of releasing that as a side, like, promo, just on its
Oh,
own, just a
nice.
standalone, because we see why she's a cop and how she does it, how she feels. I think it's just bullet points the way she does it, but
Yeah.
she literally lays out why she loves being a cop and how she processes herself as a cop. Second, we see that she's a twin and she has the twin syndrome, something that she still has some of her characteristics of her twin that died in the
Inside
war,
of
inside when she was still an embryo. So she explains that, and we have a whole monologue of her speaking in French. I mean, like straight, and telling Ruby to be very cynical, that you're hot, use your looks to get better. I mean, she's also being cynical right in front of her in French, and it kind of just there's a great scene that's only in the trailer that Ruby walks out in the interview and she does this Jack Nicholson shining walk in the
Oh,
halls.
nice.
And again, you can't you gotta let your ego, let your fucking pride out as a director and do what's best for the film because if I could have any scene back in my film with that Ruby walking in the halls, but it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. It has no content if I put it in. And it's in the trailer, but I had to cut out. I mean,
Yeah.
not just that. Oh, I'm just cutting out. I cut you out. I trimmed you out. I cut off 4 lines that she studied for. But I also sacrificed my own shots too that I love more than
Yeah.
anything. I mean, I hated that I had to take that out, but my editor showed me how's this ending, and I was like, you know what? You're right. It
Yeah.
works. It works.
Yeah, and you really see like how crazy she is, from one emotion to the other, and it's like it's normal for her, and she, yeah, is so evil inside.
Yeah, I think we have that going on right now. We do. I think we do have that going on. Things are
Oh
running.
yeah, yeah. I mean, with everything that's going on, I mean, it's just. And then I was gonna ask you about that. I mean, was this film when you wrote this? Was this pretty much like what was? I mean, was that an influence? I mean, as far as like
And
I don't really.
Obama was president, so I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
wrote this when
Gotcha.
Obama was president. No, none of this. I just, when I told her I was going to make a follow up of the film we did in L.A., I just had to find something. How do I write a sequel or a follow up? And I just thought, well, we saw the lead character go home, and we saw what she did when she got home, how she relieved stress. So this is, if you see this film, the first one, then this is the next. This is we see both sides what they do when they go home simultaneously. We see her go home and she's upset. She goes nuts. She goes where she gets how she's not rewarded, how she's not recognized. So I created the writer. So I just went with that, and then I just started realizing I'm doing Richard III in a way. It just kind of when it's as the process went, I saw wow, she's Richard III. It didn't really start out that way, but as the process went, I saw it like that. So then I just started writing it based on its characteristics, and it just wrote itself.
No, no, definitely,
Yeah,
man. And like, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just gonna add, like, because my character is like this, like, obviously pretty detective, beautiful woman who's detective, but like she doesn't get any of the applause and the congratulations and the awards. Like she doesn't get any of that. Her partner gets all of that in All Points Bulletin, which is the first movie. And then Emotionally Disturbed Person is the sequel of that first film. And we were supposed to shoot it in LA, but it didn't work out that way. So Robert was like, would you come down to Austin to shoot it? Because like it was easier to shoot it here. And I was like, hell yeah. Let's fly to Austin, Texas. Like I wanted to come to Texas anyway. Like I have never been to Texas before. So that was like lovely, for me to get to travel at the same time that I do whatever I love the most to do in the world, which is filmmaking. And acting. So yeah, and then basically you get to see this like pretty lady in the first part, and she doesn't get anything, and she's so frustrated, and she doesn't understand why she's not getting merits for whatever she also did. So now we can see the duality in that second film where she gets crazy. She just really like flips a switch and decides like, you know what? No, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get that merit, to get that attention, to get all of this because I too deserve this. But it's very rare that you see, you know, beautiful ladies like being like this, like completely crazy. So like I think it was cool to get to play someone like that because it does exist.
No, and that all goes to the genre. And if it ain't for the genre, there's no other genre that does this. Whether you have the protagonist as a female, it's film noir, and film noir gives women they're the female fatale. They're glamorous. They're sexy. They're beautiful. Their clothes are always popping out. Back then, women you didn't see in the 40s. Women didn't really wear sleeveless tops. They couldn't. You know, it just that wasn't ladylike. So they were very long sleeve shirts, but they were very glamorous. They were really tight and sexy. So where we are now today, I'm still going through that. But when you see a woman that's attractive and wearing a sleeveless top, you're drawn to that as a male, and sometimes as a female, if you're also competition to that, you see that as competition. So that draws that already you have preconceived thoughts about that person, whatever it is, doesn't matter. You already have. I'm creating preconceived thoughts, whatever it is individually. That's what I'm creating for y'all. And then second, you see them act like not your typical standard woman, not ladylike, I guess, if you want
Right.
to use that phrase again. And that's film noir. Film noir lets you do that. Film noir is very psychological. I think it's the best film genre that you can do almost. It's where the protagonist is good and then it ends up being bad, or you see how someone becomes bad. It's not a Marvel film where I'm bad. I want to destroy the universe. Okay, do it. But why? We don't know why he's doing it. He just wants to destroy the universe. Okay, that makes no sense. Everything we do is the reason. You see a roach, you kill it because it's disgusting. It's in your house. It's creating more family. You're not just doing it to be evil. You're doing it because you don't want to spread more.
Right.
We see why she's doing it. Now you don't, it's wrong, but to her it's right. She thinks she's right. And that's the disconnection. That's film noir that lets you do that. She doesn't sit down and discuss her feelings, and the therapist talks to her to help her. You don't see that here. They don't want that help. They want to get what they want. And film noir, really, you don't even see film noir even talk to psychiatrists. They don't do that.
Yeah.
Because why would you if then it wouldn't be film noir, because they don't want help. That's what makes it raw and gritty. And I love this genre, and I want to move forward with it. I want to bring women to the forte of film noir too, where we had 3 decades of film noir of men being the protagonists, the men being in control. That's great. I love those films. But how about let's bring back this genre and have females as the protagonists, carrying that load, being the burden.
No, I mean definitely, man. I mean it's obviously something that fits you well. I mean I know when you first started filming. I mean, was this kind of the angle you were going for, or was this something that just kind of developed and now you're
It
like, okay, you know what,
developed
I like the genre.
definitely. It developed, and I've said in the last one, I've always been a fan of Clint Eastwood, and I started with that. I want a detective like Dirty Harry. But there was no depth behind it. I was just creating a monster. I was creating a guy, and my friend told me it's a good character, but we need to know where he comes from. We need to know why he's doing what he's doing. Why is he going to the crime scene and just being an ass? He can't just be an ass because there's nothing there. It's very one note. It's also very amateur, thinking you're doing something right and you're really not. And you got to see That there's you got to create more depth. You got to create a story. A guy can't just come to a crime scene and just act like a badass. That's not reality. That's as bad as buddy cop films. So just that's just silly. So I looked at Dirty Harry and thought, there's a reason why he's the way he is, and I got to create my own characters like that.
Yeah.
But then it just gradually became like I made one, and here I am just mimicking the Clone Brothers, the man who wasn't there, the black and white one with Billy
Yeah.
Bob Thornton, and I'm mimicking a lot of the scenes, and it just felt right, just like you feel right moving to a new place, moving dating someone, and you realize, God, we fit perfect, and that's how film noir felt, and I never looked back after that, and that was back in 2005,
Okay.
and it just you find your genre. It's just I think every person, every filmmaker needs to find their genre. Guillermo del Toro don't do rom coms. All right, why?
Yeah.
You know, why? He doesn't do war films. He does. Martin Scorsese don't do rom coms either, and he doesn't do comedies. He doesn't do, buddy cop films. I think he's made one detective film or two detective films. All right, I mean they just everyone he has a genre. Clint Eastwood has a genre.
Yeah.
Woody Allen has a genre, and that's why they're good at what they do.
Yeah.
And this is my genre is film noir.
Oh, I mean, well, definitely it's working out. I mean, this next one that you're filming already. I mean, of course, like you said, you have one more day of shooting. So, I mean, when well, let me backtrack a little bit. I mean, for those that weren't able to go and watch the premiere, I mean, when's the next opportunity they're gonna have to be able to watch the emotionally distressed version?
Well, I'm submitting it to film festivals, so hopefully, you know, I don't know anything soon. They're early, most of them are early bird submissions, so they're not till next fall
Yeah.
or even summer. But hopefully, a film festival will have a screen, and I'll definitely be posting all those dates and times.
And let me ask you, I mean, when it comes to names, I mean, we dropped Steven's name, Susan. I mean, there was someone to put this up because there was a crew. You had a crew of people that were actually working, helping, making this possible. I mean, there was everybody that's pictured, and of course, everybody that showed up at the premiere. And one of the things, I mean, I didn't. Everything I got was positive. I mean, people that watched it. I mean, of course, we were in it, and we were, I mean, I put myself outside the box, but I was like, man, I enjoyed it. I generally just sat down and I was like, wow, like that was good. So everybody did a great job. I mean, Robert, of course, this is like I said, your baby. So, just as soon as it starts learning how to walk, it's going to start going out there and hitting some premieres, man.
Yes, that's the
Yeah,
goal. That's the goal.
yeah.
And
And I
then
was going to say,
one day I go to New York and direct Law and Order and control it.
there you go. That's a goal, man. Just take us with you.
Robert is so passionate. Like this is why I love working with him, and this is why I love working with passionate people, passionate directors that they're in their thing. They're own it. So he owns it. So I love it. It's so fun.
No, no, for sure. I mean, otherwise you wouldn't be here, right? This is your second time back, so that's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Now, Jessica, of course, going back home. I mean, what's going to be your next project you're going to be jumping on? I mean, is this going to be as far as personal? You have anything yourself going?
Actually, I have two. So I have a feature that I'm gonna shoot probably in, I want to say, January or February. It's a vampire movie, and it's really cool. Like, it's a dark comedy. But yeah, so I get to play a vampire. It's like the lead role again. And then after that, my big project for 2026 is Dear Margaret. It's a feature film, um, really catered to the Latinos, the
Okay.
Latin community, but like really Latinos, in East LA, set in the 90s. So that's gonna be about like Mexican gangs, what was happening during that time, and this girl really like finding God and trying to help people rehabilitate in society. So like not being part of gangs anymore, not being into selling drugs or doing drugs and, party, being alcoholics, whatever, like all this stuff. So it'll be really interesting. I'm the lead actress. I'm playing Sister Margaret. I'm also directing it and producing it. So I'm very excited because it's my first feature films. I've done plenty of shorts, but now it was time for me to like level up. So it's my first
Nice.
feature film, wearing all three hats, which is gonna be intense, I'm sure. But it's only right for me, It's just right. It's the path that was waiting for me. So I'm excited. I'm just really excited to learn more because you always learn as a filmmaker. There's not even Scorsese, at his age, I'm sure he still learns things.
Oh yeah.
So that's the beauty of the work we do. We keep learning, we keep getting better, and I'm just excited to take on this project.
No, that's great. I mean, are you going to be casting, auditioning for these films, or do you already have people set up?
So I already have some of the cast, but
Okay.
some other people that I'm adding in the script, like I will be adding some roles in the script. So yeah, I'm gonna have to cast more.
Sweet, man. Well, that's cool. I'm looking forward to it. Congratulations on taking that next step. And of course, I mean, that's one of the things I always ask people in general. I mean, when it comes to actors, because I always feel, not to say it's a bad thing to keep acting forever, but I mean, a lot of times people evolve. They want to do something else. They want to write. They want to produce. They want to direct. And obviously, you're one of them. You're evolving. So can't wait to see
Yeah.
what's next.
I love, and I think the reason why I'm evolving like that is because I love acting so much that I refuse to wait after other people to cast me in their projects. I don't want to be like benching, literally sitting on
No.
the bench, like, waiting to play, right? So I don't want to do that. I want to give myself the opportunities that I should be getting because I trust myself as an actor. Like I know I'm capable of so much more, but sometimes other people don't necessarily see it right away in you or someone else, has another vision, etc. They just pick another person. So I'm tired of that. And as an actor, I mean, I think all actors that will listen to that can relate to what I'm gonna say. But as an actor, you can't be doing acting as a full-time job anymore. You just can't. Like it doesn't pay your bills unless you're an A-list. So that's why now I'm like, okay, what's the right path for me to keep going with this passion of mine? And it only makes sense that I produce my own stuff and I direct them. I can also write them and put myself in it as an actor and see where it goes.
No,
Yeah.
definitely. And I think that's one of the things. I mean, when it comes to jumping on movies, because I mean, of course, there's films everywhere. I mean, there's not always a feature. I mean, there's a lot of shorts. There's a lot of video filming going on. But like you said, I mean, you gotta if you can't. It's kind of like I used to tell people back in the day. I said I'm not gonna wait around and find a job. I'm gonna create one. So that's what I've done my whole life. I've always like, you know what? I'm gonna start my own company. I'm gonna start doing this, and it's always worked out because I always tell people I was always my best employee. I was punctual. I was always on time. I always showed up, and that's kind of what it takes in anything, any craft, any work field. I mean, especially with acting. I mean, so it makes sense. I mean, to create something and put yourself in it because like you said, nobody wants to be benched. It's kind of one of those things when everybody's filming and you're at home, like, damn, what about me? I want to do something.
And honestly, I encourage everyone to do that, like even right now, like I'm working actually on a course to teach people how to produce their own short film and how to produce their own demo reel. Like I want to teach that to people because it can only benefit you as an actor. Like I'm here to help, So it's like I just think if you're able to create your own stuff and learning from the curveball of actors, like you can empower yourself to make the right choices for yourself in life. So yeah.
Nice. Well, I agree. And my question to follow up is, if you need Robert's help, we can ship him over there. So let us know.
Absolutely. He wants to.
I think he
Yeah.
wants to be a vampire. That's what it is. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
But guys, I do appreciate you guys jumping on here. I mean, of course, Robert, like we talk on and off. Jessica, I do follow you on social media, like I said. So I mean, I'm excited for what's going on. I'm excited for you for 2026. Earlier last month, I posted on there like I'm not gonna wait for the new year. Like I'm gonna start now, and I have. I've been staying busy and I've been staying, not benched. Because I like being out there, but I appreciate individuals like Robert for allowing me to not just jump on projects but also do BTS, which is what I love. And Jessica, if when you start filming, if you need somebody to do BTS, I would love to go out there and capture something.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
No, no problem. But I appreciate you guys. Anything? I mean, Robert, we'll start with you, sir. Anything you want to add before we wrap this up?
No, just thank you so much for having us on again and help promote the emotionally disturbed
Yes.
person. It was a good premiere. We had a good time and a good screening. I'm glad to be able to show it to people. So thank you for having us on.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Thank you. I'm super excited to show that to people, for people to see it and, you know, feel something, right? Because that's why we're making films. It's for people to feel something. So yeah.
No, no.
And on that
I,
note about the film, on that note, we touched up. Jessica touched up on it. It has a new color look.
Mm.
So we
no,
did a
yes.
whole. We fixed that some of the off color tone to it that it had. So it's been refurnished, I guess, if you want to call it
Yeah.
that.
I sat down and like did the colors, just recolored the film
So it
to
has a
make
new
it.
look. It has a new look,
Yeah.
and it looks just beautiful now. On top
Nice,
of
nice. Can't wait to see it
um,
again, man.
Yeah.
yeah, it's hopefully. Well, I know all the San Antonio film festivals won't come around till next summer,
Yeah.
so we have that. We have that already submitted to them. So, you know, just have to wait for the summer to come. Hopefully, I
No,
get
no, for
selected.
sure. Oh
You
yeah, I
will
mean
get.
they're coming.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I do appreciate you jumping on here, like I mentioned. So, of course, don't go away, don't hang up. Everybody out there, of course, once again, Spider here, coming soon podcast. As always, till next time, follow up.